The WWE Hall of Fame is filled with some of the greatest legends in professional wrestling. Some have criticized it for including too many names that some say are not deserving to be there. Others have been critical about celebrities being inducted, and many have called on WWE to take a look at some of the biggest legends to finally get recognized for their accomplishments. In this video, we'll list some of the biggest names who have not been inducted into the Hall of Fame and the reasons why. Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman's exclusion from the WWE Hall of Fame is another case likely tied to his untimely passing while under contract with the company. In October 1997, at the age of 35, Pillman tragically passed away from heart disease. The WWF's handling of his death drew significant criticism, particularly their decision to interview his grieving widow on live television the following night, a move widely condemned as exploitative. While injuries sustained in a 1996 car accident limited his WWF run, Pillman had already cemented his legacy with years of exceptional in-ring performances. He initially gained fame in WCW during the early 90s as a high-flying fan favorite. His athleticism and charisma shone through in his tag team with Steve Austin, the Hollywood Blondes, and later as a member of the Four Horsemen. Pillman further revolutionized the industry with his loose cannon persona, blurring the lines between reality and kayfabe. He pushed boundaries with controversial promos, often breaking the fourth wall and incorporating real-life elements into storylines. After a contentious departure from WCW, Pillman had a brief stint in ECW before joining the WWF. There, he reignited his rivalry with Steve Austin, culminating in the infamous Pillman's Got a Gun segment, a controversial moment that pushed the limits of television. Pillman's absence from the Hall of Fame may not last long because his son Brian Pillman Jr. is now with WWE as part of the NXT brand, wrestling under the name Lexus King. Owen Hart. Owen Hart's absence from the WWE Hall of Fame is a glaring one, shrouded in tragedy and controversy. A celebrated member of the renowned Hart wrestling dynasty, Owen rose to prominence in the WWF during the mid-90s as a top villain, notably feuding with his brother Bret the Hitman Hart. His career reached new heights in 1994 after a memorable turn on his brother at the Royal Rumble, culminating in a victory over Bret at WrestleMania 10. Their SummerSlam clash that same year earned a rare 5-star rating from wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer, solidifying Owen's place as a top-tier performer. Despite never capturing the WWF Championship, Owen consistently delivered outstanding matches against legends like Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog, securing the Intercontinental and World Tag Team Championships multiple times. Beyond his in-ring prowess, he was admired for his playful personality, known for his backstage pranks and camaraderie. Tragically, Owen's life was cut short in 1999 during a live pay-per-view event. A stunt involving a descent from the rafters went horribly wrong due to equipment malfunction, resulting in a fatal fall. The decision to continue the event after the accident amplified the controversy surrounding his death. Owen's wife, Martha, has since steadfastly opposed his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame, holding the company responsible for the tragedy. This stance, coupled with AEW's recent establishment of the Owen Hart Cup in his honor, makes his official recognition by WWE seem increasingly unlikely. Ivan Koloff. The absence of Ivan Koloff from the WWE Hall of Fame is a puzzling oversight considering his significant contributions to wrestling history. Born Oriol Paris in Quebec, he achieved fame as the Russian Bear, a fearsome villain who shocked the world in 1971 by ending Bruno Sammartino's legendary 8-year reign as WWF champion. This monumental upset, ending a 2,803-day title run, is etched in wrestling lore. The stunned silence of the crowd that day spoke volumes about Koloff's impact. Koloff's success extended beyond this historic victory. He led the Russian team, introducing his kayfabe nephew Nikita Koloff to the wrestling world. Together, they battled iconic tag teams like the Road Warriors and the Rock and Roll Express. Koloff also holds the unique distinction of competing on the first-ever ECW card and the inaugural television taping for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. The fact that Koloff remains outside the Hall of Fame is particularly striking given his status as one of the few 20th century world champions not to be inducted. It's been speculated that his involvement in a 2015 lawsuit against WWE alleging the company concealed information about concussions may have contributed to his exclusion. The lawsuit was dismissed in 2018. Sadly, Koloff passed away in 2017 without receiving this honor, despite expressing his desire for induction. Demolition, one of the most iconic tag teams of the 1980s WWF, remains a surprising omission from the WWE Hall of Fame. Though initially seen as a Road Warriors imitation with their face paint and spiked attire, the duo of Bill Eadie and Barry Darsow carved their own path to success. Starting as dominant villains, they eventually became beloved fan favorites. Their record-setting 478-day reign as WWF Tag Team Champions, beginning at WrestleMania 4, cemented their legacy. They would hold the titles 3 times in total, with a memorable victory over the Colossal Connection, Andre the Giant and Haku, at WrestleMania 6, marking Andre's final WWF TV match. Despite their accomplishments, Demolition's relationship with WWE has been strained. Legal disputes, including a lawsuit over the Demolition name, and their participation in concussion-related litigation against the company, have likely contributed to their exclusion from the Hall of Fame. While fans continue to advocate for their induction, Bill Eadie himself has expressed doubt that it will happen anytime soon. This ongoing snub is a perplexing situation for a team that undeniably left a lasting mark on WWF history. The Midnight Express stand out as one of the most consistently excellent tag teams of the 1980s, a decade renowned for its incredible tag team wrestling. Their remarkable success, even through a major lineup change, solidified their place among the era's elite. While they battled many top teams including the Fantastics and the Road Warriors, their rivalry with the Rock and Roll Express remains legendary. The countless clashes between Bobby Eaton and the Rock and Roll Express duo, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, across various promotions are a testament to their enduring feud. The Midnight Express, with its core of beautiful Bobby Eaton and the interchangeable Loverboy Dennis Condrey and Sweet Stan Lane, captured numerous championships including the NWA World Tag Team titles. Their dominance was recognized with both Pro Wrestling Illustrated and Wrestling Observer's Tag Team of the Year awards in 1987. Even after the team disbanded, Bobby Eaton continued to thrive as a singles competitor, winning the television title and joining notable factions like the Dangerous Alliance and the Blue Bloods with Steven Regal and David Taylor. Despite their absence from the WWE Hall of Fame, the Midnight Express's impact on tag team wrestling is undeniable. Though they never competed for WWE, their influence and accomplishments warrant a place among the all-time greats. Their induction would be a fitting tribute to a team that helped define an era of tag team excellence. Bam Bam Bigelow's absence from the WWE Hall of Fame is a curious case, especially given his prominence in the 1990s. This agile giant, known for his distinctive flame tattoos and impressive agility, headlined WrestleMania 11 against NFL star Lawrence Taylor. He was a standout performer, defying expectations with his athleticism, which included a top rope moonsault. Bigelow's career spanned various promotions. He made a splash in his 1987 WWF debut, notably eliminating 2 giants in the inaugural Survivor Series main event. He achieved success in New Japan Pro Wrestling, winning Tag Team Gold and challenging for the IWGP Championship. Returning to WWF in 1992, he remained a fixture in the mid-card scene, reaching the King of the Ring final in 1993. He even captured the ECW World Heavyweight Championship in 1997, a feat he never accomplished in WWF. However, Bigelow's personal life was marred by legal and substance abuse troubles. Bigelow faced charges of attempted kidnapping and endangering the welfare of a child through reckless driving. To some, his personal issues overshadowed his wrestling accomplishments, but there is no doubt that he had a Hall of Fame wrestling career. The Dynamite Kid's exclusion from the WWE Hall of Fame is a complex issue, primarily stemming from his troubled personal life. Behind the scenes, he was notorious for his bullying and cruel behavior towards fellow wrestlers. Stories of his hazing and intimidation are numerous, creating a dark cloud over his legacy. Even more disturbing are allegations of domestic abuse, including an incident where he reportedly pulled a gun on his wife in front of their children. However, when viewed solely through the lens of in-ring performance, the Dynamite Kid was undoubtedly a revolutionary figure in professional wrestling. He was a pioneer of a high-impact athletic style that blended speed, power, and aerial maneuvers. His legendary matches with Tiger Mask in Japan are considered some of the greatest of all time, with one even receiving the first-ever 5-star rating from wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer. He achieved success in various promotions, including Stampede Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, before joining WWF in 1984. There, he achieved notable success, including a strong showing in the 1985 Wrestling Classic Tournament, winning the World Tag Team titles at WrestleMania 2, and competing in the opening match of SummerSlam 1988. While his in-ring accomplishments are undeniable, his troubling personal conduct cannot be ignored. This ultimately explains his absence from the Hall of Fame, a decision that acknowledges both his contributions to the industry and the serious flaws that marred his legacy. Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, also known as Sid Justice, is often overlooked in Hall of Fame discussions, but his impact on 1990s wrestling warrants serious consideration. Sid was a major player in the biggest promotions of the era, achieving significant success in WCW, ECW, and WWE. He was a 4-time world champion, capturing the top prize in both WWE and WCW twice, and consistently featured in main event storylines. While his in-ring skills may not be as celebrated as some of his contemporaries, his imposing presence and undeniable popularity made him a force to be reckoned with. He was a fixture in a period considered by many to be a golden age of professional wrestling, and his contributions to that era should not be dismissed. Though often excluded from conversations about the greatest wrestlers of his generation, Sid's achievements and his impact on the industry make a strong case for his inclusion in the WWE Hall of Fame. Sadly, Sid passed away in 2024 after battling cancer, but hopefully, his family will be called upon to induct him someday. Rick Martell, a highly skilled wrestler with a career spanning multiple promotions, is a puzzling omission from the WWE Hall of Fame. Martell captured championships in various organizations, including the AWA, WCW, and WWF. His impressive 18-month reign as AWA World Heavyweight Champion showcased his exceptional talent. He returned to WWF in 1986, already a 2-time World Tag Team Champion, and formed memorable teams like the Can-Am Connection with Tom Zenk and Strikeforce with Tito Santana. Strikeforce's tag title victory over the Hart Foundation further solidified Martell's status as a top performer. He later reinvented himself as the Model, a flamboyant and arrogant character who engaged in notable feuds with stars like Jake Roberts and Shawn Michaels. Martell even briefly held the WCW Television Championship, defeating Booker T in 1998. Despite his accomplishments, Martell remains outside the Hall of Fame. Reports suggest that he has been approached about induction but has shown little interest. Some speculate that his distance from the wrestling industry and his current focus on real estate may contribute to his apparent lack of desire for the honor. While his relationship with WWE seems amicable, it appears that Martell has simply moved on from his wrestling past. This, rather than any animosity, likely explains his absence from the Hall of Fame. Lex Luger, a prominent figure in professional wrestling throughout the 1990s, remains a notable exclusion from the WWE Hall of Fame. He first rose to prominence in WCW, where he was a member of the prestigious Four Horsemen and a long-reigning United States champion, holding the record for the longest single reign to this day. He engaged in memorable battles with Ric Flair for the World Championship, solidifying his status as a main event player. Luger joined WWF in 1992, initially as part of the World Bodybuilding Federation. He transitioned to a wrestling role as the Narcissist before becoming a fan favorite after a memorable body slam of the colossal Yokozuna. He challenged for the WWF Championship at SummerSlam 1993, narrowly missing out on the title. In a shocking move, Luger jumped back to WCW in 1995, appearing on the very first episode of Nitro. He continued his success there, achieving victories over legends like Bret Hart, Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan. His WCW World Heavyweight Championship win over Hogan on Nitro stands as a career highlight. Despite his accomplishments, Luger's personal struggles likely explain his absence from the Hall of Fame. He faced serious legal issues in 2003, including allegations of domestic abuse and involvement in the tragic death of his girlfriend, Miss Elizabeth. His subsequent legal battles and health challenges, including being wheelchair-bound, may further contribute to his exclusion. However, Luger is now working as an ambassador for WWE. Diamond Dallas Page is working on getting Luger to walk again, and if Luger gets the call for his Hall of Fame induction, he plans on walking across the stage to give his speech. It's clear that there are a lot of major names that should be acknowledged by WWE. Now, with Vince McMahon out of the company and Triple H working to mend fences with former talent, we could finally see some of these glaring omissions recognized in the next few years.